price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. I know a lot of you guys expected me to be late. Normally, we're a little behind making sure everything is taken care of, but we're not. We're on time today because there's a lot that we have to discuss. Now, this is after the election. Everybody's still trying to process the city of Chicago, all of the sanctuary cities that are really not sanctuary cities for the actual citizens. Those cities are trying to process having the mass deportation that is coming in a couple months. So let's go back. We got to go back so we can review some things. So after, it's an update. I haven't talked about Chicago in a minute. So going back to the cause of the problem, Joe Biden, the cause of the problem. We cannot ever talk about the problem without talking about the person who really caused the problem. People want to talk about is Greg Abbott. People want to talk about is Brandon Johnson, J.B. Pritzker. People want to talk about all of these things and all of these people. But the real person who caused the problem was Joe Biden. So after Joe Biden allowed millions of illegals to come into the country, flooding in, they started busing into Chicago, coming in drove. I'm talking about they just started busing in, flooding into the city. And this is just the city of, this is just Chicago. They just started coming into Chicago, you know, then they started just packing out the police stations. This is the police station where I interviewed the illegal, and he told me that he was not here for asylum. He was actually here for work. But I'm talking about they got they tents out there. I'm talking about they are crazy. They are packed out there. Look at this. I want you to take an image and look at this. Is a police station. This is a police station. All of this stuff, this terrorizing, this just is just too much. It is just absolutely too much, and it's all the fault of it is really Joe Biden. So because of this and the resources that's been spent specifically on them, it's not like they're adding to the economy. It's not like they're doing anything to contribute or pull their weight. They're just dead weight at this, just completely dead weight. So it becomes so much of a problem now. The city of Chicago is now facing over $1 billion in debt. The city of Chicago is facing over $1 billion in debt. Now, this is something that we've already discussed before. We've already made a video about this before. It's a very interesting picture of Brandon Johnson, by the way. But we've already discussed this. Now, Johnson does not know what to do. Johnson's been sitting up there. Johnson's been acting like a mascot, like a good do boy for Joe Biden. He's been acting like a good do boy for Joe Biden, but Joe Biden didn't want to help. I want to show you something else. This is some of the data of this, just to let you know this crisis, just to give you some of the details of this crisis right here. All right. So this is Chicago in a budget. Chicago has had ups and downs. Now you can see right there that up and down with the budget. The first time it really had a big spike, that was kind of around the housing crisis era. That was kind of around that. And then afterwards, it went down. It was real low. It went down. Now, of course, there was a little budget spike again due to the pandemic. But I want you to see where it reaches 2020. Of course, that was the first year of it, 2021. That was the second year. That was really when it's high. 2022, 2023, it starts, you know, these things start to go down. I want you to see the budget was actually being handled. It actually was. But the thing is that the budget could not be being handled because of all of the money that was spent specifically. And this is under the approval of Brandon Johnson on illegal immigrants. This is all because of what Brandon Johnson is doing for illegal immigrants, so much so that now the city of Chicago is in $1 billion in debt. We got over 100 people in not even 5 minutes. I appreciate you guys. I know y'all not used to me being on time, but we are on time this evening. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. So $1 billion in debt. What do you think Brandon Johnson is deciding to do? What do you think one of his solutions? He's all like, wow, these illegal immigrants are here and they're causing $1 billion in debt. The people of the city are suffering for a multitude of reasons because of them, and they're not even supposed to be here. So what do you think, as the mayor of this city, the most logical solution to be? What do you think that is? Whatever you might think that is not what Brandon Johnson decided to do. Oh, no. What Brandon Johnson tried to do is Brandon Johnson pitched 300, just so you get the, not 3, not 30, $300 million property tax increase to help close the budget. Now, when he was running for mayor, he was saying that he was not going to do any more property tax increase because over the last decade or so, Chicago has already gone through some property tax hikes that a lot of property owners in Chicago have been trying to fight against, because property taxes in the city of Chicago is really outrageous, to be very honest. And he campaigned on not increasing the property taxes, the overwhelming property taxes that Chicagoans are already paying. So that's what he campaigned on. And then after the $1 billion deficit that the city is in under the instruction of Joe Biden and Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker, he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have the citizens pay that. Now, the citizens, I want you to keep this in mind. We've been going to City Hall for the last 2 to 3 years saying they need to go. I mean, going viral all over the news, all over social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all over the place, Facebook, all over the place. We've been saying, hey, they need to go. What you're going to do, you keep having them here. The problem is just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Now they're at $1 billion in debt. Now he expects the residents, the homeowners, the property owners of the city to fit the bill. That's what he pitched. I swear to God, he pitched that. But fortunately, enough people had some sense, so the Chicago City Hall was like, no, you ain't gonna do that. All of them voted no on that. Every single last one of them voted no. You don't see a single green, do you? You don't see a single green, do you? All you see is red, because they all voted no. So right now, he doesn't really know what to do. So one of the things that they're deciding to do is they're going to close the migrant shelters, and they're going to combine the migrant shelters with homeless shelters. So it's really not going to be migrant shelters. It's going to be migrant plus homeless shelters. But we really know that it's just really going to be a migrant shelter that has a little bit of homeless people in it. So that way you can say all of this is for the homeless. So now they can start to reallocate their budget around, well, we're not spending this money on migrants anymore. We're just spending this money on homeless people. So all of this time, they've been ignoring homeless people, and now it's time. Now they don't have any money, and now they know for a fact Trump ain't gonna give them nothing else for the illegals. He's not giving them nothing else. So now, what are we gonna do? What we're gonna do is we're going to combine, quote unquote, the migrant shelters and the homeless shelters. Now I'm gonna play these clips. Let me make sure that we protect ourselves. As you guys are liking, we almost got 200 people, not even 10 minutes. Make sure you guys like, comment, all of that stuff as we play this. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, here we go.
All now with the latest for us. Hi, Tamon. Sean and Dina, good afternoon. Today, major changes to Chicago's effort to help migrants and the city's homeless population in a shift. New arrivals will no longer be guaranteed a shelter bed as the Johnson administration combines Chicago's shelter system. What a difference a year makes. Last fall, busloads of migrants from the southern border, ordered here by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, were arriving almost every day. Today, the message from Mayor Brandon Johnson: there will be limited resources for migrants arriving. The city of Chicago is eliminating 30-day shelter extensions for most shelter residents, changing hours of the landing zone, closing the State of Illinois Intake Center, and now saying that only migrants who've been in the country less than a month will be eligible for a shelter spot. No doubt these changes will help Chicago address a nearly $1 billion budget shortfall, but the numbers show
It's no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. These people are bad at math. No, it's not going to help. If you are in, come on. If you are in debt, you are in debt because you spend too much money. Spending less money is not going to get you out of debt. That is not going to help. If you're in debt because you spend, let's just do a little math, simple math. If you spend $10 a day every single day and now you're in debt, what you need to do is you need to actually start putting more money in that account in order to get out of the debt. That's what you do. If you say, you know what, I'm in debt because I spent $10 a day, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend $5 a day so I can get out of debt. That's not how you get out of debt. You are spending too much money. Spending less money is still not gaining you anything. These people like, oh yeah, that's sure to help. It's not going to help. They need to go cold turkey. When you're in debt, you need to stop all expenses. All of the extra stuff that you're doing, you need to cut that out. What they need to be doing is saying none of them can come here. That's really what they need. That's the solution. Not, oh, you can only be in a shelter if you're here for less than 30 days. No, you can only be in a shelter. None. That is the solution. They need to go. The people who are already here, who are not contributing to the economy, which is all of them, they need to go. All of them need to go. That is the only way you can even really begin the process of getting out of the hole you dug yourself in. You can't say we dug ourselves in this hole, so what we're going to do is we're going to dig slower. That's how we're going to get out the hole, is not digging in the hole fast as we were before. You're not going to dig yourself out the hole. You're still digging yourself in this hole. So no, that's not going to help. And it's simple math. But let's continue.
thousands of migrants still need help. As of today, there are 4,996 residents in 13 shelters, 21 people awaiting placement. Since August 2022, the number of new arrivals in Chicago stands at 50,022. Here now is Mayor Johnson discussing the changes.
We inherited a humanitarian crisis with scores of buses with newly arrivals sent from the southern border without notice, care, or any coordination. This act was meant to destabilize Chicago as a welcoming sanctuary city. We fought back and showed the world just how welcoming we can be.
So major changes to how the city will deal with migrants arriving in Chicago. There will no longer be a guarantee that there will be a shelter bed for new arrivals. We'll have more.
There should have never been a guarantee. There's no guarantee that the homeless even get shelters. There should be no guarantee. And if you was to say that there is a guarantee, there should, first off, and they're saying that it's not, but what they're going to do is the homeless shelter, you can forget about homeless citizens. The homeless shelter, they're just going to start calling these illegal immigrants homeless. That's just what they're going to start doing. We can already tell. That's what they're going to start doing. These homeless shelters that are now going to be funded and now going to be taken care of, they're just going to kick all of the actual real citizens that are homeless out, or not allow them to come in, and they're going to allow the illegal aliens to come in. That's just what it is. It's an alien shelter. Okay, it's Area 51. That's what it is. That's what this is going to become. We already know this. I got some stuff I got to play for you guys here, because there's been a lot of press conferences about this. So this was Johnson. This was Johnson before. This is one of his press conferences. And what I don't like about this is that he always seems to tie like a black and a brown thing. And he throws black people in there as if black people should be getting behind this or are getting behind this. Look at this.
Burden everyday people.
Morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
I have a lot of logistical questions, but I'll try and pare them down.
Can you get it into one, though? That's the key.
Well, one and a follow-up, absolutely.
Okay, all right, 1.5.
All right. Talking to the new arrivals out on the street, there is still a recurring cycle of them that are re-entering the shelter system. They're going back to the landing zone. If 2,700 have left, 2,000 have re-entered that system. So there is still a demand. And when we talk to them individually, they say, I'm still struggling. I still need work authorization permits. There's a lot of uncertainty in their minds. Knowing that going forward, that we're sort of ending this mission, do you have concern that many of these people will end up homeless?
They already are homeless.
But I meant out on the street, outside the shelter.
Hold on a second. But just keep this in mind. They are already homeless, just like the 20,000 children in our Chicago public schools are homeless.
Well, and he brings this up. Where's the priority been for the 20,000 children? The real actual, these are actual citizens. Where's now he brings that up in passing, but since you brought that up, let's talk about that. Where's the priority for them? Because Chicago ain't $1 billion in debt after and Chicago, because of the last, the C-19, you know what I'm saying. Because of that, Chicago had a way bigger budget than it's had in a very long time to do a lot of things with it. And they've been using that money and they've been giving that to the aliens. That's what they've been doing. All right. So you want to bring up, if you're going to bring them up, you're going to bring them up to make a point about, yeah, they've been like they're homeless and they're homeless. Well, what have you been doing to the actual residents or the schools or anything else? Because it seems all of the attention, all of the money, all of the priority is going to the aliens. That's who it's going to. Since you're going to don't bring us up in vain or them up in vain. Don't do that.
Look, I didn't wake up May 15th and get sworn in as mayor and started to worry about homelessness. When you're a public school teacher in Chicago, I can tell you, we come face to face with negligence in this city all the time. Our police department does, our fire department does, our city workers. So we're very concerned about the conditions that we inherited. And now what you're seeing is a real legitimate concerted effort to actually address the crises. Should they be concerned about work authorization? Yes. Does the mayor of Chicago have the ability to authorize work? No. So that's why I'm fighting our federal government, and particularly the Republican Party that's being led by a freaking lunatic who told them not to support substantive, comprehensive immigration reform because he wants to prove a political point. And he has worked to pit poor brown people against poor black people. Shame on him. You talk about a joker.
He says he worked to put poor brown people against poor black people. That's not what happened. And let me just get him off the screen for a second. One of the things that absolutely I hate, is when black people have an issue with another group of people, a legitimate issue. We got data, we got facts, we got statistics, we got evidence, court cases, I'm talking about a legit, couldn't be more legitimate of an issue with a non-white group of people. And the second we voice that, it's, well, it seems like black people are fighting brown people, two minorities fighting against each other. No, it's not. It is one minority being used as a buffer class to help with the subjugation of black people. These people, whether they're doing it deliberately or not, they're still doing it. They're being used to help subjugate black people and make life harder for black people. And the second we say something about that, then we're being used as if we're being manipulated into fighting against brown people. Well, look, let's fight then, because they fighting against us. They's fighting against us. And notice it's always told to us. Notice when anytime we got a complaint, it's always it's the black and the brown people. No, so we're supposed to be working together. So what we're supposed to be doing as black people, what we're supposed to be doing is we just need to be silent, and we need to just accept the bottom tier, even though we're citizens. Because he's talking about black people and brown people. These people are not citizens. They're not supposed to be here. While he's talking about Trump is turning us against, no, we've been saying that. We've been saying that longer than Trump's been running. We've been saying that since he got here. Since they got here. Trump didn't announce he was running until the end of 2022. We've been saying that since 2021 that they need to go. We've been saying that since 2021 that this has been a problem. So this ain't about Trump. Don't, every time we say something about immigration, it always without fail gets turned into, Trump, he manipulates the black and the brown to fight against each other. No. So we supposed to just be sitting up here, just acquiescing to the subjugation and being at the bottom of the barrel to everybody else. And if we say something against everybody else, it's us attacking minorities. Because our place is at the bottom, is what Brandon Johnson's trying to say. That's what he believes is our place. But let's let him finish, because we got some more stuff. He said he get even wilder in the press conferences.
It's Donald Trump. So yes, as you can hear in my voice so eloquently, of course we're concerned about work authorization. And yes, we're concerned about the unhoused, but that did not happen with this mission. We've been struggling with this dynamic, and this is why we're creating with our partners, state level, county level, to respond to it.
Now we're gonna go to the next one. Oh, we're gonna go to the next one.
Returning to the election results, we heard from President-elect Trump's border czar saying that he was prepared to send squads of ICE agents into so-called sanctuary cities, including New York. He did not mention Chicago, but of course that would apply to Chicago. Are you prepared to somehow resist the arrival of ICE agents, and are you prepared to defend the city's public safety budget from attempts by the incoming Trump administration to withdraw funds if you resist working with ICE agents?
Okay. She asked a few questions with that. Hold on, let me mute my thing. She asked a few questions. The questions she asked was, Trump is saying, he made a statement that any city, because he has the control of the federal government and the House and all that stuff, because they pretty much got Congress, or they not pretty much, they do have Congress. So what he's saying is that these cities, these local police departments in these states that are sanctuary cities, they need to work with ICE with the mass deportation wave that's about to start happening. If they do not work with ICE, what he's going to be doing is he's going to be withdrawing. I like that idea. Can we get some ice cubes in the chat room? What they're going to be doing is, or he's going to be doing, is drawing funds from the police department. So what the reporter is asking, because Brandon Johnson has made it very clear that he's against this and that he will not cooperate with Trump to get the mass deportation done. He's made that abundantly clear that he's not going to do that. So essentially, this is what she asks. She asks, like, a very kind of loaded question. It was multiple questions in that question, but look at how he responds to it.
That's impressive, Heather. Yes, yes, and yes.
Okay,
Look,
then.
look, we're going to defend the.
Now it's it freezes up, but that's not me. That's just how the press conference was. I don't know. They got press conference freezing now. I don't know what it is, but that's not me.
People of this city, because look, his attack. Let's be very clear.
I want y'all to listen to this part. Y'all listen to this part.
His attack. Let's be very clear. The president-elect, former President Trump, his threat is not just towards new arrivals and undocumented families. His threats are also against black families. He has a vision to destroy public education. Public education at the expense of the state, after all, is a Negro idea. Those are the words of W.B. Du Bois. So when he talks about Project 2025 and dismantling public education, we're talking about a system that has been designed to create leveling opportunities for families who are descendants of slaves. He's also threatening the department.
Man, look. Keep us out of this mess. No, he ain't talking about doing nothing to us. No, we gonna be good. See, this is what they got to do when they want us to get on board, because they realize as FBA we not on board with this. They know we're not on board with this because we've been going to the city halls and everything. This is why they didn't want us to vote on the referendum. This is why Johnson and his administration stopped it from us being able to vote on the I see the hundreds. I appreciate you all. This is why they stopped that. So they know we not on board. So one of the things that I really dislike, I said it before, but I really dislike how he takes this separate issue, this immigration crisis. They're not supposed to be here. He takes their issue and he tries to find some way to tie it into something that we got going on, to tie it and make it like our problem as well as their problem. Oh, he's not just coming for immigrant families. He's also coming for black families. No, he ain't coming for no black families. Not that y'all care. Not that y'all would defend us anyway, but he's not coming for us. We don't got no help from y'all. We as black families, we've been saying, hey, what y'all are doing is hurting black families. Johnson has been completely ignoring what black families have been going to City Hall and requesting for the last few years. Him and the entire Democratic Party have ignored any and all cries, pleas, deals, requests, anything from black families. So don't try to say, well, he also gonna hurt some black families. No. This is what the Democrats do all the time. They do it all the time. Anytime they want to push an agenda or they want us to get on board, they got to find a way to include us in the issue. That's, for instance, the voting rights thing. We got the ability to vote. We have the ability to vote. I literally do not know a single black person. We just discussed this on the For the Culture, the last For the Culture episode. I literally do not know a single black person who does not have an ID, a single adult black person who doesn't have an ID or couldn't get one. I don't. I don't. I can't think of one. I don't know one. But they'll make it seem like voter ID is a black issue, because voter ID is something that they want to push, but they want us to get behind it because we're the momentum of getting things passed. So anytime they want to push an agenda, they want to get the Foundation Black American energy behind that. So when it comes to the immigration, they want us to get behind it, but they're having an issue because we have been rejecting it. And we've been pushing back against it for the longest. We've been pushing back against this before Trump was, because Trump wasn't even really saying something until he started running. We've been pushing back against this before Trump. So this is not even about Trump. This is bigger than Trump. This is about what we've been saying. So when Brandon Johnson talks about he's going to destroy black families by getting rid of public education, number one, that's not going to happen. He's not getting rid of public education. That's not what's going to happen. Even if you dismantle the Department of Justice and let the states fund the allocate their money to the schools that they want to and how they want to do it. That's not getting rid of public education. That's a wild statement. That's a reach beyond reaches. That's not going to happen. Number two, it's not like black children in public education are doing that well anyway. It's not like you guys were not allowing these illegal alien children to come over here. And I said it, and I know it sounds cruel, but it's the truth. It's not like you were allowing them not to come over here and then leapfrog above the priorities of the black children in these schools, where you guys are firing black teachers and allowing Hispanic bilingual teachers to get in these schools or to pay them more money. You guys have been doing that. We've been discussed that. We've been discussed that for the longest time. So when you talk about, well, oh yeah, he's taking up black. No. This is what black people been saying needed to happen. Don't try to tie us into this. Can't stand it when he does that. Now,
Of slaves.
Finish.
He's also threatening the Department of the Environment. We restore the Department of the Environment. With global population shift and climate change that's happening all over the planet, we're going to stand up and protect our environment. We're going to stand up and we're going to protect undocumented individuals. We're going to protect black folks, brown folks, Asian folks. Listen.
He ain't been protecting no black folks. No, don't do that now. No. And every time a politician, notice he does this, Eric Adams do this. Every time a politician, and particularly the black politicians, anytime they get in trouble, they start to act all black all of a sudden. Y'all notice that? Is that just me? Is that just me? But anytime, and I know I just paused it, anytime a politician is having a hard time, they always become more pro-black. They start growing their hair out all of a sudden. They start throwing their fist up in the air. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, Johnson gonna come out with a dashiki tie. If he does that, notice I called it. I called it. If he comes out with a damn dashiki tie for Black History Month, notice I called it, or do something performative like that. Notice he's going to do that. Every time they get in trouble, they start doing that. Man, no, leave us alone. You was ignoring us before. Don't sit up there and start saying our name when you need some help. Don't do that. No.
The anti-sentiment that exists in this political space right now is unconscionable and it's dangerous. Whether it's anti-black or anti-Semitic, we're going to protect people and we're going to invest in people. The city of Chicago will be better, stronger, and safer despite who's in the White House.
Okay. No. I'm gonna give you another press conference. But if y'all thought Johnson was done, he was not done. He was not done. This is the worst one from him.
Back to the threat of the president-elect with mass deportations, I was wondering if you foresee any type of conflict with the Chicago Police Department and the usual suspects that in the past challenged the rules of the sanctuary city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that came up before, and I don't believe I answered it as thoroughly as I should have. Thank you for bringing that back. Look, our police department already has, a heavy lift. And we continue to ask our police departments, not just in Chicago and the state of Illinois, but across America, to do more and more. It's just not sustainable. Our police department will not dub as ICE agents. We're not going to do that. And it's a dangerous precedent.
And okay. Here's the thing, when you say your police departments will not dub as ICE agents, number one, I don't think you should have that much faith in the Chicago Police Department. Let me let you know something. You should not believe the Chicago Police Department is going to side with you on this, because the Chicago Police Department more than likely voted for Trump. I'm just going to be very honest with you. If you don't think the Chicago Police Department want them gone, you crazy. The Chicago Police Department, majority of them, there might be a couple of, majority of them is more than willing to work with ICE. Okay? Most of them definitely are, especially if Trump says that he's going to stop the funding, if he's going to cut funding, if they don't work with ICE, most of them will. When you say they're going to be dubbed as ICE agents? No, they're not necessarily going to be dubbed as ICE agents. ICE already has its own agency. And this is another Democratic DNC talking point, that you're going to allow the local police departments to be working as ICE agents? No, because we already have ICE agents. Did you not know that? We already have ICE agents. We don't need the local police department to become ICE, because they're not ICE and we already have ICE. We don't need that. But it would be a lot easier is if the local police department, who already have the knowledge of certain people in certain areas, work in collaboration with ICE to make the job go a lot faster and smoother, with a lot less friction and probably a lot less danger if they do that. It's not like Trump or any Republican is saying the local police need to be deporting people. That's not what the local police would be doing. They would just be assisting by giving information, maybe some strategies or anything like that with ICE. ICE is already specialized and trained in the deportation field in skill. They're already trained in that. They don't need local police who to become ICE agents. That's not what they need. The Chicago police are not going to have to even be doing that. But what he's trying to say is that when ICE comes, this is really what they're trying to say. He's not saying that. But when ICE comes, the Chicago Police Department will resist any type of assistance from ICE. So when ICE wants to go and they want to start looking people up in the database and stuff like that, the Chicago police is not going to allow that to happen. They're going to cut off all resources. They're going to pretty much reject any type of cooperation. The Chicago police is not going to cooperate. That's what Johnson really wants to say, is that there's not going to be any type of cooperation. Now he's framing it as, well, we don't want our local police to be ICE, but nobody's talking about that. So that's not a fear. He's just saying he doesn't want to cooperate. Now, let's continue.
Where members of
somebody in the chat room, he's answering questions. He's the way Democrats answer questions. I see where Kamala gets it from. This is where Kamala gets it from. When people ask a direct question, this is where she gets it from. All of you go back to a talking point, a very dishonest, disingenuous talking point.
I'm not going to do that. And it's a dangerous precedent where members of communities begin to feel unsafe with their local police department, right? We're already working to restore confidence and trust in our local police department. The last thing we need is, as members of community feel like they can experience a raid from a local police department on behalf of a tyrant. Look, here's what I...
Okay. Do you, first off, as Black Americans, we've never felt like this comfortability with the police department. And every single mayor says we're working on building the relationship between the community, which when they say the community, they mean Black folk, the community and the police. Because the Black community is the only community that has this negative slave catcher relationship with the police. Nobody else does. So when they say the community, that's a code word for Black folk. Y'all have not been doing that. So when you say you don't want the people, residents, aliens, you don't want the aliens to fear a raid from ICE because of a quote unquote tyrant. But we as citizens, you're not stopping raids. Notice he said he specified which type of raids he doesn't want. He's not stopping raids. So raids can happen to citizens. The police can have no-knock warrants and stuff like that, like they did with Breonna Taylor. They can have, when nobody's still been held accountable for that, not really. They can have no-knock warrants. They can kick down our doors. They can run through our house. Kids can be in, all of that stuff. We, as the citizens, as Black citizens, we can be raided. But the illegal aliens, they can't be raided. He doesn't want them to fear a raid from ICE. That's really what he's saying.
I would encourage President Trump to do. That's what I would encourage him to do. work with Congress to come up with significant immigration reform policy. Like, we can actually do that. President Biden was working on that, got bipartisan support in the Senate, and then the House blocked it. And look, the president-elect exercised his power to stop policy from being enacted. Now he has the ability to actually do something of substance and value versus just to continue to make threats. Like, to me, it's just a waste of power. Like, imagine me as mayor of the city of Chicago and I just start threatening people all the time. Would you even want to come to those press conferences? Well, maybe it requires. That's what I'm doing. That's what my administration is doing. We are standing up for people. We're not threatening people. That is one of the most iniquitous forms of governance that I've ever seen, right? And particularly for these United States of America.
He said it's one of the most iniquitous forms of governance he's ever seen. And I got to chop it up because I don't want you guys to miss anything. He's saying that. I want you guys to keep this in mind. Let's just all keep this in mind. These people have been coming over here. Let me show you the image. These people have been coming over here just hogging up look at all of these little sleeping bags and pillows and covers and all that on the floor of a police station. Okay. These tents, you think they paying for these tents? They came over with no money, no job, no nothing. Look at all this stuff. You think they sitting on couches? Where you think they got these couches from? You think they paid for any of this? You think they paid for any of this? Being able to just come off the bus, get checks in hand, food in hand, all of this stuff. And Johnson's just been sitting up here allowing all of this. Just been allowing this. In the city of Chicago, we've been saying, we don't want this. We've been saying, this is too much. We're already having a hard time right now with inflation going crazy. Okay. The economy's already not good. Ever since Biden's been in office, gas has been crazy. People have experienced higher gas prices than they've ever experienced. Through my time driving, and I've been driving for a good minute now. For my time driving, I do not ever remember gas being this expensive. From the last couple years, gas has been more expensive than I've ever had to deal with. Groceries more expensive than I've ever had to deal with. Okay, rent, bills, because energy is up. So that means your energy bill is up. That means your gas bill is up. That means all of this stuff is up, which means everything is up. I'm going to be honest. The fast food has never been more expensive. Going out to eat has never been more expensive. It's never been more expensive, never been more difficult to financially take care of yourself and your family. And this is something that the Democratic Party, every time you bring it up, just gaslights you about it. They just completely gaslight you about it. And we've been saying they need to go, because if we're dealing with this right now and we got finite amount of resources, then what we need to do is we need to use these finite amount of resources to make the city and the more comfortable for the residents that live here. That's what needs to happen. But nope. That's not what they did. They said these people who are here, not legally, but they're here, are the priority now. These people are the priority. You will have to deal with this. That's just what it is. You're going to have to deal with this. So as they're coming in, the city is going more and more in debt. Now they're having a hiring freeze. Now things are becoming, which were already difficult. Now things are becoming more and more difficult for the average citizen to deal with. Now, this is one of the reasons why Trump won. Now, you want to talk about a bipartisan bill. Well, Biden was dealing with a bipartisan bill. Nobody liked that bill. That bill was dumb. That's why that bill didn't pass. And they want to blame it on Trump. Trump made a call. No, the bill was bad. It was a bad bill. I looked through the bill. The bill was terrible. The bill was not going to pass. That was a bad bill. Regardless of Trump calling and making a couple of people, and at best, Trump might have made a couple of people pull out. Trump didn't make the whole Senate pull out of the bill. That's not what he did. You even had Democrats who didn't like that bill. That was a terrible bill, which was not necessary if Biden didn't allow them to come over like this in the first place. You're going to cause a problem and then come up with a bill to fix the problem, to somewhat fix the problem you caused, and then get mad that somebody else rejected the bill that was not necessary before you caused the problem. So no, as far as working with the Senate, if you want to work with the Senate, if you want to work to create comprehensive immigration reform or whatever you want to call it, if you want to do that, fine. Let's do that after we deport them, because what we should not be doing is we should not be expediting the citizenship process after allowing them to come over here illegally. That sets a very bad precedent. It's terrible for our national security. It's a bad precedent for immigration in general. It won't work because you don't know who's over here. They just want anybody who comes over here or who's been over here to become a citizen, and that should not be the case. They don't want to deport anybody. That's the problem. They're not deporting nobody at all, no matter how many crimes they commit. They're not deporting anybody whatsoever. They can find out they're a part of a gang and they still won't deport them. So don't come over. Well, Biden is a crazy old man and he was going to lose the election. So he gave it to Kamala and she lost the election because nobody likes either one of them and nobody likes either one of their ideas. So no, they need to go. To be very honest with you, and I'm going to say this, I'm not for none of them coming back either. When they leave, don't come back. Go back and fix your homeland. That's me. That's me. Maybe I'm in this selfish mode right now. That's me. Don't come back. I'm cool with you coming back. I'm not cool. When I say I'm cool, that's like me saying I'm cool, like not cool. I'm not cool with you coming back. I'm not cool with that. The American government, the United States of America, owes me. They owe me. They owe me reparations. They owe you reparations. They owe you, everybody in the chat room, everybody listening now and listening in on the replay. They owe all of us reparations. So yeah, let's get that straight first before you allowing anybody to come back. Now, notice Johnson's not talking about no reparations thing. Every so often, he brings up the same $50,000 he gave to a reparations committee. Let me ask you guys a question. We're just going to pause for a second. We're just going to pause. Let's slow down for a second. Now, earlier during Juneteenth, right, he gave $50,000 to a reparations committee, right? Ooh, that was a big deal. Have we heard anything about reparations since then? Have we heard anything about reparations since then? What's going on with this committee? You put this money in this committee. I don't know nothing about the committee. Who's on the committee? Nobody know. Where's the committee been? You ain't said nothing about. So let's get that reparations thing taken care of. Let's get the checks cut first before we talk about any immigration coming over here. When they leave, I'm cool with Trump not signing nothing as far as them coming back. I'll swear I'm cool with that. And when I say cool, y'all know what I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Don't sign nothing. All that we need logistical and positive immigration. No, we don't. We need borders closed, shut. We closed for business. Ain't nobody coming over here no more. That's what we need. That's what I'm on. Ain't nobody coming over here no more. Y'all owe me money. Until y'all give me my money back, I don't want to see no new faces over here. Because what y'all doing is when y'all allowing them to come over here, that means you're giving them my money. That's what that means, because they don't have no money. That's why they over here, because they broke aliens. They don't have any money. That means you're giving them mine. So no, don't give them mine. Let them go back and let them be broke, or let them find their way and let them, because they're hard workers. Because when they come over here, that's the stereotype they get. They're hard workers. So let them be hard workers back in Mexico, Venezuela, wherever they're from. Let them be hard workers over there. You give me my money. That's all I care about. You do that. No, you owe me some money. Don't be talking about no immigration, nothing. Now, He goes on to say something crazy too. If you thought that was all the crazy, that's not even all the crazy.
Where we have had to live through threats. Look, I'm a descendant of slaves.
Oh, look at him. Look, clearly he trying to, you see, when we said that, people's all like, don't say that. Now everybody want to be like us. Now everybody want to be like us. Look, I'm a descendant of slaves, because he knows all the tether rumors. He knows everybody's starting to question his lineage now. That's what's going on. Everybody's starting to question his lineage now. So now he got to come out and claim to be FBA. We still got to get the jury's still out on that, to be honest with you.
Look, I'm a descendant of slaves. Living through threat is painful. It's why the migration to some extent took place, where blacks from the South were threatened by political leaders in the South, threatening to hang people, threatening to lynch people. Like, those threats have real consequence. And my people know what that's like to experience those threats. Why would I want anybody else to experience that?
Let me play that back. So what Johnson tried to do, what he just tried to do, was to compare the Great Migration to what these people are going through. And he says, I'm a descendant of slaves, and my people came from the South. So he's using our actual grievance, us coming from the South. He's using that actual grievance, and he's comparing that to a bunch of people illegally breaking into a country to freeload. That's what the people who built the country and going to another part in the country that they built, he's comparing that to people breaking into a new country to freeload off that country. That's what he's comparing it to. Just so you can hear it again. Let's listen. After the whole, I'm a descendant of slaves. Well, which slaves though? I don't know. There was slavery in a lot of places. Which slaves was you a descendant of, actually? Because you can be kind of tricky with that. He could be playing a little Jedi mind trick with that.
We have had to live through threats. Look, I'm a descendant of slaves. Living through threat is painful. It's why the migration to some extent took place, where blacks from the South were threatened by political leaders in the South, threatening to hang people, threatening to lynch people. Like, those threats have real consequence. And
what is so disrespectful about this is that none of this is going on to them. None of this, and I did a video, if you guys haven't seen it, it's a masterful video about the Great Migration and how that is not fleeing, okay? Because I knew for a fact that they were going to, with the immigrants, they're going to compare immigration, this illegal immigration, to the Great Migration. So I did this like maybe 4 months ago. I did a video about that, live about that. You guys definitely got to check that out. All right. Because they every so often they try to make this comparison. It's not the same. Our people are being lynched. Our people are having to face Jim Crow laws. Stuff still happened in the North. It was just not documented. Okay. So it's not like the North was some big paradise, free of racism, void of racism. Some of the craziest race riots happened in northern states. Okay. In Chicago specifically. All right. So we're not going to Chicago and New York, okay? So we're not going to sit up there and play these games like the North was just some beautiful place that loved black people and the South was just racist. We're too educated for that. But even if you want to go with the narrative, our people, first off, all over America, but in the South, people literally being lynched, mobs around watching our people being lynched, burned alive. I don't think I can get too graphic on YouTube, but I cannot say that word right now. Literally eaten. Just eat literally eaten like animals, eaten. Body parts chopped off. horrendous things I can't even say happening to women, children, boys, girls, all that stuff. Okay. Just the worst things that you could think of, that's what was going on. And then black people were still with their family locked in, but there was just no money, especially after the Civil War, because the South was broke. The South was broke, still recovering from the Civil War. The South didn't really have no money like that. The North needed jobs, or the North needed workers, because this was especially because there was two different waves about it. There was two different waves really to the Great Migration. So during one of the aspects of the Great Migration, this was right around the time of World War II. All right. So around the time of World War II, you needed a lot of workers because a lot of the able-bodied men were being shipped overseas to fight in the war. So you needed a lot of workers. So really, the Great Migration kind of saved America because the economy was about to fall, because that's when it started to transition from an agricultural society to an industrial society. But because the world wars was going on in foreign conflicts, it wasn't able to smoothly make that transition from an agricultural society to an industrial society because of the workers being shipped outside of America. This is where we came in. Had foundational Black Americans not went to the North and started working in these factories and facilities and in the post office and everything, these things would have shut down because there was such a labor shortage that we as citizens actually filled. And this is, you guys definitely got to go back if you guys have not watched that live stream. I'm probably later on, I'm probably going to like link it in the description or in the comment section, because it's very important, all right, to understand the history. Because when they bring up the Great Migration, they always bring it up in the context of we were scared and we was running away, and the North is where we saw freedom and prosperity. But no, we need to bring up the Great Migration in its actual full context, and bring up the Great Migration in the context that the Great Migration saved the North. Because people make it seem like the South was in a bad situation, the North was also in a bad situation. And when we left the South, some of us, because most of us didn't actually leave the South, to be honest. Most FBAs actually still stayed in the South, if we're going to be very honest about that. Some folks did leave the South and went to the North, and then it was kind of a back and forth type thing that was going on, all right? But the ones that went to the North, they were actually working, and that was able to keep the economy in the North flowing, that was able to take the Industrial Revolution and was able to keep that afloat. So that in the back and forth between the FBAs that was going to the North and then going back to the South, and vice versa, this is what was keeping America flowing, especially during the time of war. It was very necessary. So when they talk about the Great Migration, we got to put it in the context of the Great Migration actually saved America. They always want to put it in the context like we were some helpless folk. Notice that they do that when it came to slavery, when it came to what's that thing, the Civil War, when it came to the Great Migration, they always put it in the context of the liberals saved us. We were saved. We didn't do the saving, and we didn't save ourselves, and we didn't save anybody else. We were the victims. We were the children. We were the people who needed rescuing, and we were rescued. When you put it in the full context and you understand the history of what went on the entire time and all of the factors, we were the ones saving America with the Great Migration, which was our right to move anywhere we wanted to because we built the whole country in the first place. This is not what these immigrants are doing. It's very disrespectful to compare that. These aliens are not supposed to be here. They have broke into the country, and it's not because they're being lynched. You want to talk about, even if you want to use the context that we left the South and we went to the North because of danger, because we were getting lynched, because of all of this stuff that was going on, that's not what they're going through. They're not going through that. They're leaving because they looking at America like America is the bag. That's why they're leaving. That is 100% why they're leaving. You have not seen anybody, and I went to the police stations to interview them, okay? You have not seen one of them say, I left because I was in danger. I left because I feared for my life. I left because the government was lynching my people and the government was persecuting my people. You ain't seen none of them say that, because that's not why they are here. They are here for economic opportunity, which does not qualify them for asylum. You cannot go to a place and seek asylum because you're broke, which is why they're here. They're here because they're broke. They're here because they want money, American money. But that doesn't qualify them for asylum. It just don't. That's not the way asylum works. If that's the case, America got more money than all of these other countries. Everybody can come over here and claim asylum. They're broke. That's it. They're not in danger. You talking about us? We actually were in danger. We still are in danger, to be honest. But we actually, in the South and in the North, but we were in danger. Jim Crow was dangerous. Post-slavery was dangerous. Slavery, post-slavery today was dangerous, is dangerous. These people are not escaping any real danger. They can't articulate any danger. If you ask them, okay, well, what is the danger that you're going through? They won't tell you. The media, and this is why it's very I was about to say under good. It's under good. I said under good. It's good to understand. It's good to understand exactly why these people are here. Because if you let them tell you, they'll lie. They'll make it seem like, oh my God, and it's little Jose, and he just woke up one day and there was a missile in his house and it blew up his whole family and his cat. It was terrible. So he got to come over here. You know, it's just so bad. Don't you feel bad? No, because that's not what happened. That's not what happened. These people are coming over here for work. That's why they're coming over here. This is why most of the people, and this is what some of the media does not want to acknowledge, this is why most of the people coming over here are able-bodied males. These are young males, pretty much under 40 years old, about like 18 to 40, in that 18 to 40 range. So you mean to tell me the only people in your country that's in danger is males, able-bodied males from 18 to 40? Those are the only people who are in danger? Because when they talk about danger, you would think, okay, well, if the country is in such big danger, such a huge catastrophe, you would send the children, right? You would send the women, right? You would send the elders, and then the old ladies and the old men. Then you would send the young men. The young men, you would think the young men would go last. That's what you think. But the young men are going first, and they're the majority. And then when you ask them, they be all like, yeah, I'm here to get a job. Well, hold on, no. Hold on. You start scratching your head, be like, hold on. They said that they was out there like, they make it seem like this was Juan Crow in Mexico. Oh, hold on. They make it seem like y'all getting lynched, y'all getting hung, y'all getting beaten up and persecuted and falsely and wrongfully and immorally incarcerated. They'll just be honest with you. Most of them just been like, no, I'm just here for a job. That's why I'm chilling at Home Depot right now. See if I can, go paint somebody's garage. They'll just tell you. They will just tell you. Well, Brandon Johnson has the audacity to try to make a comparison of the Great Migration to illegal opportunists breaking into a country to get a job. That's what he's trying to do. It's absolutely despicable. I want to show you. I mean, it's terrible. It is terrible. Let me show you this. This is something I found crazy interesting, right? Look at this. So this is Massachusetts. We're going to take a little step away from Chicago because I want you to see how desperate they are with this.
Meanwhile, over in Massachusetts, Governor Maura Healey declaring a state of emergency due to emergency shelters there reaching capacity with migrants. Officials say there are almost 5,600 families and over 20,000 individuals in Bay State shelters. This is 80% higher than this time last year. Governor Healey's administration is now asking Massachusetts residents to help with the crisis.
If you have an extra room or suite in your home, please consider hosting a family. Safe housing and shelter is our most pressing need. Become a sponsor family. You can contact the Brazilian Worker Center for more information on how you can step up if you're willing to have an additional family be part of your family.
And the governor.
Y'all hear it? She said, we should house a family. We should allow them to come in our house, and we should sponsor. When she says sponsor, that means feed them, clothe them, all of that stuff. We should sponsor illegal aliens.
Governor's letter to the federal government on Tuesday, she stated that the crisis is currently costing the state of Massachusetts $45 million per month on programs to assist the families.
Just to make my point again.
Meanwhile, over in Massachusetts,
just to make my point again, when you look at these men right here, when you look at these men, just take a look at them. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lady right here. Do these not fit the description of the able-bodied under 40? This person might be like 40 something, might be in their mid 40s. I don't know. They age terribly. But these are the people who are claiming to need asylum. All of these people right here are claiming to need asylum. And these are the people, not only they're claiming to need asylum, these are the people they're telling you to allow in your house. So these grown men in their late 30s, you need to allow in your house with your family and your children. So, you know, when you running home late from work and your kid get off the bus, they can be waiting for an illegal alien at the house. This is the danger that they are literally willing to put you in. That not only are they willing to put you in, they want you to volunteer. They literally want you to volunteer to have grown men that you don't know and they don't know. They don't even know these people to squad at your house. This is what they're saying. This is how bad it is. This is how bad it is. So when Trump says that he's talking about mass deportation, look, this is why the people voted for him, because this is insanity. That is insane. That request is insane. This is why people was all like, man, no, we ain't listening to y'all Democrats when y'all come to the solution. Hell no. We not listening to y'all. That's insane. We are not doing that. We're sitting up there allowing families to sit up there squat at our house. No. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Let me get to some of the super chats. Let me get to super chat. AO, my brother AO, he says, appreciate you. Black Fist with 100%. Thank you very much, brother. I thank you, and I appreciate your support. And then we have Trenton Makes says, this election wasn't about reproductive rights. It was about illegal immigrants for the Democrats. That's what it was. That's what it was. Now, they can't campaign on that. That's a bad campaign slogan. Freedom for illegal immigrants. So, oh, yeah, that was a bad campaign slogan. They couldn't get away with that. So they had to do productive or reproductive rights. But we all knew what they was about. We all knew that. But that's insane. That's absolutely crazy. You expect people. I want you to understand the danger of that. You can live. First off, let's be honest. You don't know who these people are. Imagine you sponsor people in your house, and we're going to go through different scenarios. You sponsor people in your house. You don't know who this person is. That means that this person would have to have a key unless they stay in the house the whole time and never leave. You're going to give an illegal alien a key to your house. Okay, let's say you don't give them a key. Let's say they stay there. Are you going to lock all of the doors? Are you going to stay in the house with them all the time? Is somebody going to stay in the house with them all of the time, watching over them 24/7? Let's say somebody stayed at the house with them all the time, watching over them 24/7. Do they still need to eat? Because if they can't leave the house and come back to the house, they can't bring any money in the house. That means you need to take out of your pocket. Gas is already up. Food is already up. All of this stuff is already up. Rent is already up. Mortgages are already up. So that means you got to feed them. These are grown men. Imagine you saying, you know what? I want to be a good person. So now me have a 32-year-old stay at my house. Two 32-year-olds stay at my house and feed them and clothe them. No. Okay. You wouldn't do that. Now you have to leave. Let's say you leave. Let's say they start walking around and everything. And they say, oh, that looks like a nice TV. Oh, this is a nice couch right here. Oh, that's a nice laptop. That's some nice jewelry. These are some nice silverwares and plates and stuff like that. Imagine you're housing a migrant and you're being a good Samaritan and you come home and your house is completely empty. What's to stop them from calling one of their buddies to come to your house and clean it out? You come back to a completely empty house. Your TV's gone. Any valuable is gone. Your clothes are gone. Your jewelry's gone. If you had a safe, the whole safe is gone. They can't even crack it open. They just picked it up and carried it out. Everything is just gone. It's just completely gone. What's to stop that? Now, I'm just finish with the scenario. So everything in your house gone, just gone. You go to the police. What do you tell the police? These people, they came in my house. I was sheltering them and whatever. And they took all my stuff. This is what he looks like. This is what he told me his name was. I don't know if it's his real name. He didn't have an ID, but this is what he told me his name was. Okay. Well, ma'am, where do you think he is now? You don't know. You don't know where he is now. He might not even be in the state anymore. If you knew his name to begin with, you don't know where he is with all of your stuff. Now you don't have any clothes. Now you don't have any money. Now you don't have anything at all. That's one case scenario. Now another more sinister case scenario, and y'all can just fill in the blanks. Imagine if you had children coming in and out the house. You got little kids like under 15, under 14. You got 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds in and out the house. And you got some weird grown man and you by yourself or whatever. Or even if both the parents are living in the house or whatever. What's to stop him from calling a buddy and being all like, hey, there's two little kids over here. They get off the bus. They go to this school. What's to stop them from taking advantage of that situation? And I don't want to go too far with that, but what's to stop them from doing that? And then they leave and disappear. They vanish in the night with your children. It's 3:00 in the morning. You are asleep because you're not going to be watching over them. You're asleep. Everybody sleep in the house. What's to stop them from having a raid of people, of 5 people bust in the house and just take you and the kids? What's to stop that? The police ain't going to stop it. What are you going to do? You can't go to the government about it. If you would even know, you just wake up the next day and your kids are gone. What's to stop that from happening? What's these bad situations? What is to stop all of this stuff from happening? If you allow, that's one of the most dumb ideas I've ever heard a governor say. And I've heard governors say dumb things. I've never heard anything as stupid as that. That was a stupid thing to say. That's a stupid thing to recommend. That is stupid. That is so completely dangerous. I can go scenario after scenario after scenario with how bad that situation can turn out to be. And I really don't even want to go there, but you guys already know that situation can turn out to be horrendous. Okay. Yeah, somebody said you might not wake up. You don't know what these people are capable of. They all need to go. And you shouldn't have to be paying for it, even if they were the best, most law-abiding people, even if these were angels. You shouldn't have to be housing them. That means if they're asking you to house them, that means that they've allowed them to come in the state, in the city without a plan. That's their responsibility. That's their fault. If you don't got enough room for them, let them go. What are you doing? Now I want to get you the governor of the state of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker. So J.B. Pritzker is going around and he's saying that he's also on the same page that Brandon Johnson is on. And J.B. Pritzker is saying that he is not going to cooperate and he is going to stand against Donald Trump's mass immigration. So he's been going on some press conferences as well. And we will be reviewing those. This is J.B. Pritzker, y'all.
One final note. People have often said that I'm a happy warrior, and I've always taken seriously my role as a happy warrior on behalf of this state.
I know it's early, but what did he just say? He says, people have often said I'm a happy warrior. I don't know nobody who calls J.B. Pritzker a happy warrior. I don't know nobody who uses the term happy warrior. So that's like an oxymoron to a degree, to be honest. I don't know anybody who would even think to say you're like a happy warrior. Who said this? Is something he says about himself. A happy warrior. What is that? Who calls? Nobody calls him that. These people, I gotta say this again. Look at this. He says, I'm a happy warrior. People often call me, there ain't nobody, I've never heard nobody say nothing about no happy warrior. That sounds like something you get out of a Happy Meal. That's what that sounds like. It sounds like you get a Happy Warrior toy out of a Happy Meal. And the action figure was called the Happy Warrior. That's what it's called. That's probably where you got that name from.
One final note. People have often said that I'm a happy warrior. And
he had to laugh. I gotta zoom that. He even laughed at his own self saying that. People have often said that I'm a happy warrior. He even had to laugh about that because that's how bad of a joke that is.
one final note. People have often said that I'm a happy warrior, and I've always taken seriously my role as a happy warrior on behalf of this state. Even today, when I'm struggling with many of the difficult questions this election poses, my optimism for the future remains undiminished. Governing is hard work, but it's also important and challenging work. I refuse to let it grind me down. Setting the example for us all are the hardworking and decent people of Illinois who refuse to let the challenges they face grind them down. To anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people, you come through me.
That was a no Diddy. I don't know. I don't know if I would have worded it that way. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching, but I don't know if I would have worded it that way. I think that was a weird way to word that. I swear to God, he probably thought that was a badass statement, but that did not land. I wouldn't have worded it that way at all. I don't know what. Let's hold on. He said, "You what?"
people, you come through me. You come for my people, you come through me.
That was not no badass statement, and as a matter of fact, people kind of paused a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, dude, these are not your people because they're not citizens. These are not citizens. These are you come through my people, or you come for my people. You come through whatever he said. These aren't citizens. These are illegals. Then he goes on. And, you know, Joy Reid, she's just been crashing out. So Joy Reid has something to say with him. They talked. They had a conversation.
Can the state of Illinois prevent the federal government from building internment camps, a.k.a. what they're calling detention facilities in Chicago?
And, okay. Who is talking about that? Who is talking about that? Who okay. And this is why they lost. This is why nobody listens to Joy Reid. Who's talking about building the detention facilities in Chicago? What she called internment camps. Who's talking about building internment camps in Chicago? They're talking about mass deportation. That means get on the bus, get out. That means, why would you build internment camps in Chicago if you're trying to get them out of Chicago? You'd be putting them on transportation to get them to leave. What are you doing? Okay. She used internment camps. Y'all so extra. This is why nobody take y'all serious.
Well, we have prohibited by law in the state of Illinois the use of any of our existing county jails or prisons for the purpose of rounding people up and detaining them. I want to be clear that there are certain circumstances in which the federal government...
So, I mean, the state of Illinois, so you guys know, one of the most corrupt states when it comes to mass incarceration. All right. It's fine to have mass incarceration of the actual citizens of FBA, Foundational Black Americans. It's fine for us to be mass incarcerated. It's fine for us to be wrongfully incarcerated. It's fine. There's a case recently, I'm not exactly sure what state, there's a case recently just trending on Twitter of a black man who was accused of assault, and he went to jail for 15 years. That happens all of the time. So these things are fine when it's us. When we're wrongfully incarcerated, crimes we don't commit, that's not where J.B. Pritzker, he don't draw the line there. He draws the line of people who are aliens, who are not supposed to be in this country, and the prisons being used to temporarily house them or to station them so they can get transported back. He says no. This is where he draws the line. This is where he makes his stand, because he's the happy warrior. This is where he's going to say no. But when we get locked up, when we get mistreated, when we get mass incarceration and all that stuff, that's fine. He ain't never said nothing like this for us. Okay? The happy warrior, my ass, please.
Governments should work together to allow deportation. An example would be somebody who's been...
I think this was interesting too, what he said.
Should work together to aligning them. I want to be clear that there are certain circumstances in which the federal government, state governments should work together to allow deportation. An example would be somebody who's been convicted of a violent crime. But they're talking about rounding.
Okay, he says that, and then he tries to go fast and real fast past it. He says he feels like the state government and the federal government should work together to deport somebody who might have committed a violent crime. But in the last few years, the last 4 years, there has not been any of that. There's been people who've committed mass crimes. Okay, they've offed people, they've violated people, they've did horrible things to people, and there's not been no deportation. These people have been in these states committing crimes. They're a part of gangs, and they openly admit they're a part of gangs at this point. and there's no deportation. It's one thing if it's like, well, you know, let's let the innocent, law-abiding citizens stay, and then we'll deport the criminals. No, y'all not trying to deport nobody. If y'all was doing that, it would have made y'all case a lot better, and it would have made it less difficult. It still would have been easy, but it would have been less difficult for y'all to make y'all case when y'all was trying to run on the campaign of y'all gonna fix the problem. Okay, it would have made it a little bit harder for Trump, but what makes it so easy for Trump is because y'all wasn't deporting anybody. Y'all was not deporting nobody. How many times on this very channel did we discuss crime after crime after crime after crime, violent crime, organized crime that they were doing? Okay, I'm not talking about no little, I stole a Snickers bar from 7-Eleven. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about violent, horrific, degenerate crime, drug trafficking and all that. None. They couldn't bring up any deportation. And how you know they did not deport anybody, because if they did, Harris would have brought it up. If they were deporting, let me tell you, let's break. If they were deporting any of them at all, Kamala Harris would have been all like, well, you know, as bad as the immigration thing has been, we have been deporting the violent criminals. That's what Harris would have said. But they have not been doing that. They have literally not deported any of them. None whatsoever. So he's like, yeah, I think the federal government should work to deport the violent ones. Well, damn, y'all ain't been doing it. Y'all ain't been doing it at all. Y'all make it seem like none of them are violent. Because when we bring up the fact that, some of them are causing crimes. Oh, you sound like MAGA. They gaslight us. When we say, some of them are causing crime, some of them need to go. You sound like MAGA. It's the black and the brown against each other, and Trump is using y'all to fight against each other. That's what they tell us. No. So anytime we bring up they have a crime, y'all want to sweep that under the rug. So at this point, damn, all of them got to go. What you mean? Well, I think, we should work with them to deport the violent ones. The way I see it, they all violent. They all violent at that point, because y'all ain't trying to let none of them go, so let all of them go. Okay, this is what you get for trying to keep all of them. If y'all was getting rid of some of them, it might have been a little, y'all might have had, first off, they all need to go anyway, but it might have been a little bit easier. But y'all was not trying to get rid of none of them at all, no matter what they did. They all need to go. All of them, they all need to go. But then he finishes saying he's going to protect people, whatever.
People who are law-abiding, undocumented immigrants in this country. Look, I'm going to do everything that I can to protect our undocumented immigrants. They're residents of our state. And I also obviously...
They're not residents. These are not residents in this state.
Need to make sure that whatever they're doing in our state, the federal government, that it is actually within federal law or state law for them to do it.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all think, honestly, that Trump did not anticipate that there was going to be some pushback from Democratic cities, if y'all did not intend or he didn't think that was going to happen, y'all are dead wrong. Y'all are dead wrong, okay? Trump is now saying, he's not even a president yet. Trump is now saying that he's going to put out a state of national emergency. It's going to be a national emergency to get rid of them. If he does that, let me tell you what that means. He vows to declare a national emergency, all right? So what that means is that he's going to be able to use the power of not just ICE. He's going to be able to use FBI, CIA, because they're coming over here committing crimes and they're organized gangs. He's going to use any and all military, which also means he's going to be able to use the United States military because it's a national state of emergency. He's going to be able to use any and all forms of anything he has in his power to get rid of them. So if you guys think that you guys are being able to stand strong and be able to fight him off and be able to do it, y'all not going to be doing none of that. If y'all think that he didn't anticipate y'all being hard-headed and difficult, y'all not doing that. Y'all just prolonging the inevitable. That's really what y'all doing. Do y'all honestly think he's all like, hey, okay, ICE go to Chicago, and then ICE be all like, yeah, they told us no. He was like, well, I guess they said no. Y'all think that's going to happen? At this point, honestly, Kamala lost. Biden lost. They're about to leave in the next couple months. They've lost the race. Donald Trump is going to be the president. The House and the Senate is red now. Y'all might as well play y'all cards right at this point. It's time for it. The game is over. It's over with at this point. What are y'all fighting at this point? Y'all not fighting for y'all not even fighting a good fight. Y'all fighting a dumb fight because it's a losing fight regardless. And then y'all not even fighting a good fight because y'all not even fighting for the people. Y'all fighting for illegal aliens. That's who you fighting for. Because the people been saying that they don't want them here. That's why the whole city and all of that turned red. And mark my words, just because Chicago didn't turn red does not mean by any way, does not mean Chicago did not play a very significant part in the whole red wave. Doesn't mean that at all. Just because the city of Chicago didn't turn red does not mean what happened in Chicago did not affect Michigan, did not affect Wisconsin, did not affect all of these other swing states. Okay? Chicago is not a swing state. Okay, it's closer than it was, but it's not a swing state. But all of the other swing states, I guarantee you, were watching Chicago. So yes, Chicago played a huge factor in this stuff happening. This is why, and they know for a fact that they didn't want, the residents did not want them to come over, is because when we were at City Hall fighting against the sanctuary city status, Johnson canceled that because he didn't even want the people to vote on it, because he already knows what type of energy we on. He already knows that. So if y'all don't think, first off, he gonna get way more cooperation from the police department than y'all think he is. If y'all don't think the police voted for Trump, y'all crazy. He's gonna get way more cooperation from them, and he's gonna get a lot of cooperation mainly from the citizens. He gonna get a lot of cooperation from us. It's only the Chicago government who's acting like they standing for the people who's gonna give a little bit of pushback. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe it's just me. I'm gonna be cooperating. I'm be all like, they come over here around when the sun goes down and the nightlight come on. Okay, they sneak through the back around that alley and they go in that building right over there. You can catch them around 8 o'clock. They come around 8 o'clock, okay? Because they all get there around 5, but then a couple more come around 8. So you might as well wait till 8, and then they can all be there, and then you can just grab them, whatever the case is. I'll stay with you. I'll stay. Just give me one of your radios. I'll stay with you, and then when I get there, I'll be like, shh, they're here. Oh, I'm cooperating. I will cooperate with them. I will donate bricks for the wall to the border. I will be at Home Depot. I'll be at Home Depot. I'll be ICE, they're at Home Depot. Let me talk to them. I do wherever. Look, I'm gonna be talking to them, and I'll be all like, anytime they look away, I'll be doing. I'm cooperating all the way. Y'all owe me money. Y'all gonna pay them? No. He's right there. Man, I'm cooperating. Y'all, look, I might cooperate a little bit too much. I might start snitching on the people who do got papers. Okay. I swear to God, all y'all Mexicans better be nice to me. Y'all better be nice. Okay. Let me go to a Mexican restaurant and get a cold taco. ICE gonna be in that tomorrow. Let me go in there, get a cold taco. ICE is going to be in there tomorrow. Okay. If I say I don't even want to ask for extra sauce, y'all better offer extra sauce. If there ain't no extra sauce in this bag, ICE gonna be there tomorrow. I might just wear a shirt that say ICE on it. Okay. ICE will be in here tomorrow. Let one of y'all take my parking spot. ICE will be in here tomorrow. Okay. I know it's handicapped. I know I'm not handicapped, but if I don't get to park here, ICE will be in here tomorrow. Oh, I'm throwing my weight around. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm throwing my weight around. You might not be illegal, but I know y'all chefs are back there. You ain't gonna be able to cook nothing. So, oh, you want to give me complimentary fries? Okay, well, maybe, look, I'm a, you know how the old school gangsters be doing it. You know how old school gangsters be on the giving protection money. They go to a small little mom and pop store. Y'all know how they do. And like the movies and stuff like that. Like, yeah, this is your protection money. So every week we're going to get $200 for protection money. And if you don't pay your protection money, something might happen. That's going to be me. That's going to be me. I'm going to be protecting them from ICE. If y'all not going to give me my bag, I'm going to get it one way or another. If y'all not going to get, I got to get it out the mud. How I got to get it. And I'm going to encourage y'all to get on that too. I'm going to go in there asking for my protection money. If y'all don't, ICE been asking about y'all. I mean, I can tell them, I don't know. Oh, a discount? Oh, well, that's so generous. Well, maybe ICE might be busy tomorrow. I don't know. Oh, a bigger discount. Okay, well, I know ICE is going to be. See how that works? Oh, yeah, we in charge now. That's what I'm talking about. We in charge. Yeah. I'm look, if y'all think that folks ain't going to be cooperating, if y'all think that Trump ain't going to be able to have a smooth sail with this, he is. Y'all just prolonging the inevitable. Y'all, I swear y'all are just prolonging the inevitable. It's not going to really matter. It's really not. Because I'm being there. Let one of them look at me the wrong way. Let you look at me the wrong way and you going back to Mexico. Okay? Man, don't play with me. Don't play with me. I want to show y'all something else. And I wish I was there. I swear I wish I was there. Yeah, I swear to y'all, like, you know I am an American. I don't get a discount for being an American. Now, I was just talking to an ICE agent and he said I should get a discount. Do you think, should I go back and talk to him? The ICE agent? Because I was just talking to an ICE agent about my discount. Oh, I do get a discount. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm, yep. That's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. So at City Hall, I wish I was there, but at City Hall, it was kind of going off. They still giving Brandon Johnson the business. They still giving him the business.
To settle a score or divide the people or just get to the bottom of it. But you, Brandon Johnson, have ignored every plea, call, cry that I or any individual have come in this room and made. I called about my child, 23D79597. Yasuke Roosevelt Sims told you about the attack that's been taking place. I came in here and told you that I'm homeless. My HMIS number is 355061. I came in here. But I came in here because I wanted my life back. And lo and behold, wow, the answers that I've gotten. But you, sir, said also the other day that the presidency or Trump disrupts black Americans. It doesn't. You disrupt black Americans. You, your workforce development scheme with Michael David Rodriguez, your immigration scheme with Vasquez, and your housing scheme with Cjo Lopez. You a criminal. You should be investigated by the IG, who I was glad who was in here the day that Maria Haddon was in here, the gangster girl who ran me up out of my neighborhood. I've been shot 5 times, 6 times. I've been persecuted, followed over a case, 22CV 5691 that was in the Northern District. This took place in 2020. July 22nd. I told him about a young man named Brian Carrion who was murdered in the street, chased around like as if he was Ahmaud Arbery. I told y'all so much, but I know it's a gangster in this room, a criminal, one that thinks that he is above the law, that he can dictate the law. Mr. Catanzara, the man who argued with you because y'all want to be relevant. But I'm telling you, the people in the city of Chicago need good representation. They need a representation that don't lean towards corruption. They need a representation that don't use people because they think they can. And you and them people over there, y'all that. I've been running from cowards that want to show me as a weak man, I'm not a weak man. My child, Ian Walter Oba Sims, I want to be back with him. Y'all put an order of protection. All of these papers is the ways that y'all have tried to what? Criminalize me, villainize me, all the ignoring of it. Cornerstone, Miss Clay. This is a room full of criminals, y'all. This is a room full of criminals, and they don't want this man up here. Because I don't look, y'all can bird dog me all y'all want, but if it's relationship over duty, then y'all don't serve the blue, and y'all don't pledge the oath. Y'all pledge to serve us, not Cotton Zara, not a personal interest, but y'all do. And you can smirk all you want.
Mr. Sims, direct your attention towards me, please.
You're a criminal. Why do I got to address you? The feds need to address you. DOJ need to address you, and hopefully Donald Trump will address you. Because you're going to protect the undocumented. Why you're going to allow for the citizens in Chicago to suffer under your, what, 33%? You and C.J. Lopez cooked that 3% up a long time ago. Y'all called it a circuit breaker. Y'all been talked about it. Remember, before you came in here and gave that jovial speech, you need to be inspected.
But I ain't gonna lie to you, the brother, his time was up, but he still got some more stuff to say. Look at what happened next.
Y'all got time to address this. Y'all did it in the private classes out, doing your games over there. I got time. Come on, y'all can work out. Because you want to smirk and bird dog. I need y'all to remove me from my child. What y'all think y'all can dress up in uniform and what?
Sergeant at Arms, please restore order, please.
You a coward, y'all want to talk. Y'all use this old man and this gay girl. What to call us? What? Weak or a coward? You a coward. You a dog, and you ain't the law. The law is the law. You serve a relationship in the perfect interest, you dog. These people remove you from my motherfucking family because you think you got president, and you a fucking coward. And you a liar. You a fucking coward.
All right, please.
You gonna address him, and they gonna address you, motherfucker. Y'all want me to look at you for me and great. I'm afraid y'all ready. Y'all just know where my child, my finance, and everything.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the motherfucking person. Fuck you. Fuck you, Dr. You fucking dog. Fuck out of here. Don't look at my coward. I'm not a fucking coward. I started the Lord Jesus Christ. You motherfuckers. Fuck y'all. Y'all don't remember having me look like a fucking coward. Come show me a coward.
It go longer than that, but I just wanted to cut it off at that point because I know YouTube can, YouTube would be saying I'm promoting violence and all that stuff. But yeah, that energy is still there, y'all. That energy ain't went nowhere. Johnson's still doing that now. Do you see anybody out here playing games? Nobody's playing games with Johnson. Nobody's playing game with this administration. Nobody's playing game with the crimes that's been going on to the residents for years, for decades. These are people who have real crisis, real issues going on because of the neglect from the city. And yet Johnson is sitting up there promoting and protecting illegal aliens from the actual president-elect. This is going to be the president of the United States. Or they talk about some democracy. These are the people who are talking about democracy, but America overwhelmingly voted for Trump because they want Trump to get rid of this problem. This is the main reason, is this in the economy. Those were the main two reasons America voted for Trump, because they want to get rid of this problem. So what you are doing, what Johnson's doing, again, is going against the will of the people. Because if this is who they elected as president, not Harris, they elected him, and this is what he said he's going to do, they elected him because they wanted that plan. This is what the agenda that they wanted. But Johnson, nope, not Johnson. Johnson said, democracy be damned. I'm doing it my way. So yeah, the energy's still on them. They're still on them. And it don't matter. At the end of the day, like I said, you are only prolonging the inevitable if you don't think that there's a way that the people in the federal government, the president, can get through your little ass sanctuary city status. If you don't think that there's a way he can get through that, you're crazy. If you don't think people gonna cooperate with that, you're crazy. You see this stuff going on, you think anybody playing with you? You think anybody's playing with you? They getting out of here. Now you can cooperate if you want to, or you cannot, but it don't matter because they still gonna get out of here. Now let me show you something else from our good sister, Miss Jackson. She came on next. It was a couple people in between, but they don't really matter like that. Oh, real quick, shout out to Terrence for the Cash App. I appreciate you, Terrence. Thank you.
What you just saw with Sam's is where you want all of us to be. You want all of us to be stock rate out our minds. You want us to feel pressed against the wall. You want us to feel helpless. You want us to feel hopeless. You want to see us turn on one another. But there's some real ones out here. And we're going to stick together. But when it comes to people like you, Brandon Johnson, black people like you, who sit up here and think you're going to bully us, that's why everybody coming after you now, including Kwame Raoul. But we going to come for him because he ain't doing what he's supposed to do. He's not helping us the way he's supposed to help us. You want to sit here and watch us be aggravated like that. You, that lady next to you, what is it, Mary Richardson, Lori, her too, not doing her job. You too, not doing your job. Acting like, you just gonna bully everybody. You got people, officers whose families don't even want you to come to the funeral.
Yeah.
You just like a schoolyard bully. That at some point, and you might not know nothing about it because you grew up in Elgin, but those of us who grew up on the south side and west side of Chicago, we all know that at some point that bully gets cornered in the alley, and everybody come at him, and he ain't gonna have nobody to help him. That's you. That's you. Keep thinking you ain't gonna abide by what the President of the United States said. Everybody know better than that. I see you, Anna Valencia, in your red. You know what it is. This is the second time you showed up in City Council in red. You know what it is? Yeah. Yeah. So you and the rest of them that know what time it is, y'all come on. You leave that loser where he is. He's a loser. He's a loser. No, me and Zoe, we ain't doing nothing for nobody except for ourselves. We got you, loser.
Shout out to Ms. Jackson. I'm going to say this. A lot of people, and this is why a lot of people voted against Brandon Johnson's proposal. Let me show you this. A lot of people, not a lot of people, I'm sorry, everybody, every single last one of them, all 50 of them, all 50 voted against that. Do you think that they don't understand that the Democratic Party is a sinking ship? They all know the Democratic Party is a sinking ship. They're not admitting it right now, but they're starting to jump off. They're starting to look at the lifeboats like, that look pretty good right now. The Titanic is kind of sinking right now. Okay, y'all said Harris was going to win. She's not. We're sinking. I'm looking at them lifeboats over there. All of them are looking at the lifeboats over there. All of them are starting to kind of get that wake-up call. They kind of getting that wake-up call. Now, Johnson, he ain't going to get it. Johnson just going to go down with the ship. And he deserves to. He's just going to go down with the ship. All of the rest of them, or a lot of the rest of them, not all, because a lot of them still going to go down with the ship too. A lot of the rest of them, they kind of looking like, them lifeboats looking kind of good right now. See, they want to hop off ship now. This whole thing, Johnson ain't going to have nobody defend him when something come out about him. If he has something on him, if that come out about it, he ain't gonna have no friends, nobody defending him at all, no support whatsoever. He think, like Ms. Jackson said, you think you as the mayor, you are a mayor, sir. You're a mayor. You think as a mayor, you just not gonna do what the president talking about? You think you got, is that how big-headed you are? Him and JB Prisker. Is that how, that's really how big-headed y'all are? How slow y'all are? Y'all honestly think, y'all honestly believe that y'all can sit up there and fight the president of the United States off? If he, not just the president who also has the House and the Senate. This is the president who has this. Donald Trump is going to come into office, be more powerful than he's ever been. This is the president who has the House and Senate and the Supreme Court. All of them is sitting up there on Trump's role right now. Everybody is on Trump's page right now, and you think you just going to be able to fight them off. And the whole in your own city don't agree with you. That's the crazy part about it. You're not even doing it for your own residents. You're doing it for people who not even supposed to be in the country. You're doing it against the will of the citizens. It would be one thing if you fighting a moral fight, if you fighting a really good fight, but you're not even fighting for the people. You're fighting against what the people been asking for. You got people literally losing their minds in City Hall. Damn near, literally on a couple of occasions, going to jail. You got people in City Hall going to jail, getting arrested, losing their minds, crying, begging, trying to make a deal, pleading with you, yelling at you. No, you've not seen anybody out there sitting up there, or any black person, I should say, anybody out there sitting up there saying that, oh yeah, all this illegal immigration is great. You need to keep doing it. You ain't seen none of them say that. None of us. You ain't seen none of us say that. But you're willing to fight off the president of the United States and all of Congress to keep these illegals over here. That's what you're willing to do. Over a man who told you he had your back and lied to you. You doing this for his agenda, and he gonna be out of office and will never see another office again. His new need to be looking at the Oval Office. He needs to be looking at the office of a retirement home. That's where he needs to be. All of the papers he needs to be signed in, he needs to be signing DNR papers. He don't need to be signing executive orders, okay? That's what he needs to. This man eating pudding for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. You'd be surprised Biden could feed himself. I ain't never seen a president who need a caregiver. What the hell? And you doing this, all of this, and you sitting up there allowing it to destroy the city. The city is just in a catastrophe right now. And you just gonna let it happen? But no, you won't. You won't. I'm telling you, Brandon Johnson really does not. He hates the people of Chicago. He really does. He honestly does. He has to. He has to hate us. He has to. He has to the degree where he would allow a $300 million property tax hike to go up. You have to hate somebody in order to do that to them. To protect these people. These able-bodied men, to protect them. To protect these people right here. You see on your screen. You want us to pay more in taxes after already you can't even afford groceries. You can't afford rent. You can't afford gas. You can't afford none of that stuff. But you're doing this to protect them. You just got to hate foundational Black Americans. So if you do, just say that then and keep our name out your mouth. Don't be bringing up the Great Migration and you were descended of slaves and our people don't be doing that. Don't know. How dare you? How dare you? And I'm glad that Zoe even called it out. Let me play her clip.
I'm gonna start with what you said, Tuesday?
I'm going to defend the people of this city. Because look, his attack, let's be very clear, the president-elect, former President Trump, his threat is not just towards new arrivals. and undocumented families. His threats are also against black families. He has a vision to destroy public education. So when he talks about Project 2025 and dismantling public education, we're talking about a system that has been designed to create leveling opportunities for families who are descendants of slaves. Surely going to...
You always want to use black people in your press conferences, but don't do nothing for black people in Chicago. You already know why I'm here, and I've been coming here for a year. Before I even knew who you was as a mayor, you was dipping off, going to the sides when I was out there protesting. You have corporate counsel right next to you, Mary Richardson Lowry, who has no idea what she's doing, because if she would have told you to settle my case. Okay? So yeah, you can look the other way and roll your eyes and do all that stuff, but you do not care about the black Chicago citizens. Okay, you're trying to push this socialist agenda in this capitalist society. In 2019, when you was head leadership with CTU, y'all did a little GoFundMe and went over to Venezuela because y'all already knew what y'all were going to do with bringing them all over here, right? So you're pushing this agenda with the illegal immigrants because y'all done stole all their money because you thought that after that $51 million that the feds gave you back then, that Biden was going to keep sending y'all money. But as you know, Biden is the real racist, the one that y'all say Trump is. Biden been racist. Biden been racist for a long time. He just popped up with Obama as the vice president and everybody just forgot. Okay? You have no idea how to govern. 2026, 2027, we're going to get you out, Tony Preckwinkle out, J.B. Pritzker out, Kwame Raoul out, and probably half of the disgraced 50 out too. And the disgraced 50 is the alderman. Okay? My case should have been settled. They stealing black people's property and land in the city of Chicago, and they've been doing it for a very long time. Okay? Majority of the people that work for the city of Chicago and Cook County are realtors or part of real estate agents. That is a conflict of interest, so that's why y'all keep stealing our property and our land. And y'all think that it's going to be okay and it's going to keep happening. It's not going to happen. It's not going to keep happening. We have a new Department of Justice, and it's going and at the end of the day, we have people that are running.
Oh yeah, and if you guys know the last month or so, really last month, sometimes I've been having to go live early because I've been talking about that. What we do need to do, and something that we have been working on, I can't spoil any details or anything, for a lot of reasons. Yeah, shout out to all of the speakers. Can we get some fireball emojis, some flame emojis in the chat room for the speakers at City Hall? I swear I wish I was there. I swear I wish I could have been there. I just couldn't make it. But this is what we're talking about, because at this point in time, it's time for a lot of us to start running. And I'm not saying I'm going to run, or I know anybody in particular who is going to run. I mean, I do know some people. I'm not going to say their names, but now it's time for them to get them out of office. Okay, so now we're not even just looking at 2025. We're looking at 2026. We're looking at 2028. We're looking at 2030. We're looking at all of these years where they're going to be running. And we're looking at, okay, well, he needs to go. I looked at the way he voted. He needs to go. She needs to go. She needs to go. She needs to go. So we're strategically getting our ducks in a row. They're about to be out of office. A lot of people saying that this Brandon Johnson, he's a one-term mayor. He is. He might not even make it his whole term, to be honest, because if he gets audited and they start looking at the way he's been spending his money the same way they've been looking at Eric Adams, because a lot of people looking at Eric Adams some type of way now. Now Eric Adams is slowly starting to backtrack, and so Eric Adams is slowly starting to get on board with the mass deportation. He ain't saying that, but he's starting to get on board. He's been the most on board Democratic mayor or a sitting politician to be on board with the mass deportation. He's not officially said he's on board with it. He's actually said he's against it. But the way he's moving, Adams is moving way more on board All right, because Adams knows he got that federal case lingering over his head, so he kind of want to get in the graces of Trump right now, the good graces of Trump. So Adams is kind of getting on board. He got stuff against him. Now, it's pretty sure that with the way you've been spending this money, why is Chicago in $1 billion in debt? Because all y'all told us y'all spent like what, 600 million on them. Y'all spent 600 million. That's still 400 million unaccounted for. Exact. How are we over $1 billion? Not just reached our budget. We didn't just reach our budget. We exceeded our budget by $1 billion. How did that happen? How exactly? Because we got a massive budget. If you got a budget, let me look it up real quick, just so I can get what was the. Hold on. What was the Chicago 2024 for budget? Let me just look that up. Okay. Just so we can see. It breaks it down into a whole lot of different things. But let's say it breaks it into a lot of different things. I want to. Oh, okay. Here it is. Here it is. Let me show you guys on the screen real quick, because that's a big number right there. Let me show y'all on the screen real quick the budget. Yep, y'all see it on the screen. Let me make it bigger for y'all. The budget was 16. Now, of course, this was spent on the whole budget. This was not just spent on migrants, but this was the budget. It was $16.6 billion. That's $16.6 billion. How exactly do you run through $16.6 billion and then still wind up $1 billion in debt? What did y'all spend pretty much $17.6 billion on? Where did all this? Because if this money did go to the migrants, y'all not telling us that, because y'all told us y'all only spent 60 million or 600 million. So where's all this? Where's this money going? There's a lot of money unaccounted for. Y'all got close to $20 billion, and this is just for the year, and y'all wind up being $1 billion in debt. Yeah, hold on now, hold on. See, this is why you don't want the DOJ to get involved, because when the DOJ gets involved now, because there's going to be a new DOJ now, there's going to be some investigations going on about where all this money went. Where did this money go? Because these people still don't have jobs. You can't say, oh, we did this so they still broke as hell. All of these people still broke as hell. So where did this money go? Because if the money did go to them, you've been lying to us about it, because that's not what you've been telling the news, because you told the news it was 600 million. So unless it's a lot more, which it probably is, unless it's a lot more going to the illegal immigrants, then y'all lying about it, which means y'all not actually putting it in the records, which means that's illegal. Or you guys are sending it something someplace else, you're pocketing the money. Either way, it's not adding up. And now that somebody's going to be actually looking over that, a lot of people are going to start getting in trouble now. That's what's going to happen. A lot of people, the second people actually look, because I can clearly tell, I don't even know all of the budget details and all that stuff. I can clearly tell the way Chicago has been running, y'all cannot possibly tell me y'all blew $16 billion. Y'all in a year. Y'all can't tell me that. The way it would work, Chicago would be damn it Wakanda. Chicago ain't improved at all. So where did the $16 billion go exactly? Where did that go? And on top of that, y'all been getting money from the county and the state. So where is this? This is just the city, y'all. This is just Chicago. This ain't even talking about the county's money or the state's money. So where's all this money going? And the second somebody asks that question, a real person asks that question, when that investigation goes, it's a wrap for a lot of people. Oh yeah, it's a wrap for a lot of people. So yeah, they can sit on their high horse all they want to. It's up to us to work on y'all replacement, because y'all about to be out of here sooner than later. Johnson is a one-term mayor if he make it a term. Because if people really start asking about that $16.6 billion and they start looking at Johnson and how he mishandled that much money, yeah, you might not make it to your full term. Biden almost didn't make it to his full term. He still might not. I don't know. So I don't know. But either way, y'all got to get out of here. Y'all got to get out. The immigrants coming, getting out first, and then this come y'all. And now it's y'all. All right. And they gonna have all the cooperation. They gonna have all the cooperation. Look at this. It's gonna be the hashtag. I'm calling ICE. Oh, that's gonna be me. I am calling them. I will be they on my. I'm not just calling them. I'm FaceTiming them. I'm be all like, you see them here. You see them. I'm a FaceTime them. They gonna be on video chat. And I'm be sitting up there with a hood over my head so they don't see me, but I'm gonna be recording them. I'll be doing all that stuff. I go to them, be all like, give me one of those cameras that look like a tie, and I tie it up and everything like that, and you can see their face. I want you to see their face and use your AI scanners so you can find out where they are if they try to get on a plane or something. Yeah, I'm calling them, and then I'm coming for y'all seat. Well, I'm not saying I'm coming for y'all seat, but y'all seat is being taken from y'all. I'm not going to tell you who is doing it or what seat is being taken from whom, but I am going to say the ducks are starting to get in row. Oh yeah, we starting to line stuff up. We got a hit list, and we putting the names on there, and we executing, politically speaking. But yeah, oh yeah, this is over for them. It's absolutely over for them. Before I go, y'all, I want to say, if y'all like this shirt, we got a sale coming up. We have a sale coming up this Thursday. We have a sale coming up this Thursday, 15% off. So if y'all like this shirt or the other FBA shirt, you know what I'm saying? It's winter time, so you know you want your FBA merchandise. So we got a sale coming up, 15% off this Thursday. The link to the site is in the description below. Also, circle back around, because I'm going to be putting the not the mass immigration, the great migration. I'm going to be putting that in the comment section below, because that's a much needed live stream. You definitely got to watch that live stream. That's very important, because it really irks me. Maybe it's because I did a live on it, but it really does irk me when people try to use the Great Migration and tie it into these aliens coming into our country. It irks me. Okay, it makes me hot. I get mad. Them doing that, because that's disrespectful to. And I'm gonna tell you, my ancestors actually went through the Great Migration. Okay, that's how we got into Chicago. I know a lot of people stay, but I'm talking about it. It almost affects me on a personal level. You know, it should affect everybody, but to me, a little bit more in particular, because I know, and I've heard the stories of my family from the South and then their travels to the North. So it almost on a personal level, I get offended when they try to do that. So I'm gonna definitely be linking that in the comment section, because that's definitely a need to watch. You definitely need to watch that. You want a Jessica Jackson shirt? Somebody said they want a Jessica Jackson. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Miss Jackson about that. Give her her own merchandise. I need to talk to Miss Jackson about that. But you guys need to be following me on my various social media platforms. That is Afro Elite on Instagram, and then the Afro Elite on Twitter. The links to both of those are in the description. Hit that like button. Very, very important. Hit that like button always. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let the people know that we are not standing with Johnson. We are not standing with Pritzker. We are standing with the black community, which means we standing with the mass deportation. Success for the black community needs the mass deportation. That's what we standing with. We not standing with y'all. We want that to be abundantly clear. We are not standing with them. That needs to be abundantly clear. Oh, okay. I'm gonna talk to you. Everybody want a Miss Jackson shirt now. That's good. Oh, shout out to Rashad. Rashad sent the cash up. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about it. I'm gonna let y'all know she said it. She might be listening now. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Now, with that being said, Black First brothers and sisters, I want to thank you guys for watching. Chicago standing up. The Black America is standing up. That's a great thing. We're gonna do this together. It's still gonna be a hill to climb, but it's gonna be a lot steeper. And eventually, we're gonna get rid of this problem. We're gonna get rid of this problem, and we're gonna get rid of a lot of problems we've been having for a long time. And it starts here. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed, locked in. Thank you guys for watching.